Some really nice projects and initiatives.
Fantastic
there.
idea.
Something else for the Green Fingered now, actually, and plans to plant 40,000 trees in Essex to create a network of connected woodlands from Epping Forest to the North Sea.
It's a long way. The project to create 100 miles of wildlife corridors was dreamt up by volunteer Mike Wadham. Now, he says the boost in greenery will offset the county's carbon footprint and provide safe homes for wildlife like the dormouse and the red squirrel. Hannah Pettifer went to meet him.
Hundreds of years ago, these fields would have been woodland. But as agriculture intensified to meet the needs of a growing population, that woodland fragmented. Today, just pockets remain. But one man is wanting to reconnect those areas of ancient woodland across the whole of Essex.
It occurred to me that we could start connecting these trees within the clusters and then actually connect the clusters together. In a way, creating a woodland that runs all the way from the North Sea to Epping Forest.
Mike Wadham's vision is to create corridors of trees between woodlands along which wildlife can interconnect and flourish. 7 years ago, as a trial, he planted 1,000 trees on farmland near Great Bentley. Just to give you an idea of how big an undertaking this is, about 500 metres behind me is an area of ancient woodland. Just over there, there's another area of ancient woodland. At the moment, they stand apart, but in 5 to 10 years' time, the hope is that these young trees here will connect the two areas of woodland together, creating one long, continual flow of trees. Mike estimates 40,000 trees in total are needed to connect the 100 miles from Jaywick to Epping Forest.
Well, I was out one day as a volunteer planting woodland and planting it at 1,000 trees a hectare. And, you know, after sort of 15 or 20 years, all you end up with is a very dark woodland, nothing growing on the woodland floor. And whilst I thought there is some value in planting new woodland, it just occurred to me when I saw a woodland over there and a woodland there and one here and one there, and they were not talking to each other because they were surrounded by this sea of agriculture. And for me, that was the moment I said, right, we've got to put the spade down now and we've got to go out there and we've got to start connecting the woodlands.
The trial is already showing clear benefits to wildlife. Essex Wildlife Trust is backing the project, hoping it will encourage endangered species such as the dormouse to thrive.
The problem with these little pockets of species is that they're very vulnerable to becoming extinct. So you only have to have one really bad year and a very small breeding population and all the females die and then they're gone. So those corridors allow them to recover at a population scale and sort of move from one place to another. As populations die out, other ones can replace them.
Mike plants trees that reflect what's already in the woodlands: oak, hazel, field maple. And he says many farmers have been receptive to the idea.
So there's grants around for planting big areas of woodland, and I think these corridors are actually like something we can do right now, very realistically, very practically for farmers. They don't mind giving up, giving something back and giving up this space for corridors.
Around £2.5 million is needed for the entire project, which will take 10 years to complete. Much of that cost is labour, but Mike sees it as an investment that will impact on wildlife and the environment for hundreds of years to come. Hannah Pettifer, ITV News.